Okay, you guys, sorry about the technical difficulties. Hopefully this one is going to be working out better for us. And hopefully everybody will come. There was in my previous one and join me, but I was having some audio problems and issues. So I had to kind of stop that and pick up right where I left off at. I haven't finished doing pretty much anything. So just to let everybody know. All right. Hey, you guys. Yes. I couldn't see on my end. Like it kept telling me like that my connection was unstable. So I didn't want to drag you guys through a whole nother 15 minutes of my connection being unstable and then having to do it all over again. So I'm like, you know what? I haven't gotten that far into it yet. So I'll just pick up right where I left off and continue it from here. So I do apologize for that. How does it sound now? How is the streaming now? Is it better? Awesome. Yeah, because it looks, I don't put my audio on because I don't want to create echo. So I don't hear myself. So I do appreciate you guys letting me know like when things is going wonky. So I've kind of created my little bed of grass here. And I'm going to add like a little hill just by curving out some of the paper and overlaying it just so that I have a little bit of interest happening on the page. Okay. Now I'm good? Awesome. That's great news. There's nothing worse than you streaming and like everything starts going left. Like when you're like halfway in a project. That has happened to me more times than I can count. And I absolutely hate it. So let me get my phone back because I don't even have my chat kind of open here. So now I'm just adding like some curved out pieces just to make it look like it's a little bit hilly. And there's a little bit of something happening here. So I'm just gonna kind of use that like that. And I'm gonna create like a big hill here and add like this piece kind of like right here. Use up the rest of that glue that I have going on there. Just kind of smoothing that out. Using up all of that glue. All right, so we got that part of it going. Yay, thank you everybody for coming back. I knew I could count on y'all. All right, so I got that kind of going. Now we're gonna go ahead and use some of the other papers to just add a little bit more interest here and there. And then again, start with adding a little bit more color, getting a little bit more concentrated. I also have some stenciling that I want to add onto this page as well. This is pretty much dry for the most part. It dries rather quickly. So I want there to be like I want it to be like a, I'll show you. I'd rather show you than tell you because my explanations sometimes are terrible. That's why I'm not the greatest at doing tutorials, because I will literally end up somewhere completely different than where I started. So I'm just gonna do this and kind of get like this roundish kind of shape there. And I want to do something like this. And I want to, let's see here. I'm going to add some distressing inks on this because this is going to all react. So I'm going to go ahead and grab myself a stencil brush. And I'm going to go with the dark one. And this one's the Faded Jean. And I'm just gonna brush this on. I want it to look like it's a page of the book, more or less like she came out of the story. And then I'll start working on everything else that's kind of like around it. I'm gonna spritz this just a little bit with some water so that this can kind of react. I'm like the messiest crafter ever, you guys. You know what? I'm gonna spray this. I'm gonna add some stenciling in here, and then I'm gonna kind of do this, I think. But do I want to do it the other way around? I'm not sure. I'm gonna think about that while I spray this. So let's go ahead and spray this. Just kind of like a light little mist here. Nothing too major. Let's see. I'm gonna add a little bit of this other homemade ink spray that I have. I don't even know what color it is. Let me not do that there. Let me flip this page over just in case. Oh, I like that. Hopefully you guys can see how pretty it looks. It looks really, really nice. And this is like an alcohol, I think. This is like more alcohol based. So I think I like that. Yeah, I can definitely smell the alcohol in that one. And where's that page that I was using? Gonna kind of stick that in there for now. So something like this. Where is she? I want to gauge how big she is in comparison to where I want her to be. Okay, I have this other sheet here. So I'm thinking I am just going to kind of tear away at this. I'm gonna get rid of this edge. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that edge, get rid of this edge. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of both edges. I don't need to get rid of the top one because I'm gonna overlap it. So my chat went away. Give me 1 second detail so that I can see. All right. So hopefully that'll stay there. So I'm gonna overlap this under this just to continue to create like this illusion of something happening here. I'm gonna get rid of these edges. I don't need the edges. And I'm gonna see if I can have them meet somewhere in the middle. Let's see. Okay. I think I'm gonna use this piece tool then. So I think I know what I'm gonna do. Let me cut this down in half as well. I'm gonna distress these as well with the blue. Just to have them kind of matchy. And I might overlay it. I think I'm gonna like the way that that looks a lot better. So I might overlay that way instead. So I'm just gonna distress all of these little white edges here, cover them up with some of this blue situation that I have going on here. And hopefully you guys can see what I am doing. I'm gonna make this really dark right here, so you can't really tell too much of what's happening. So let me move her to the side before she ends up getting messed up, because we don't want that. And I'm just gonna do all this like this, and I'm gonna layer it collage style and then just place that piece over it, which if you think about it, I'm kind of doing it the opposite way, but that's fine because it's art journaling. You get to have freedom. That's the wonderfulness of art journaling, is that you get to have that freedom. I don't want that white edge on that. I'm getting rid of that white edge that I have going on in the bottom of this one. I kind of want it to be just brown like the other ones, so that's what I'm going to do there. So I think that that's what I'm going to do. Right now I'm collecting a whole mess of scraps, not straps. So I think this is what I'm going to do. Something like this, then put this like this, or put this like this. I like it overlapping. All right, that'll work. That'll work. And if I feel like I need more green into it, then I'll just cut apart more greens. I still have more greens here that I can continue to form my little hill like peaks that I was doing before. So I'm not worried about that. Where's my glue? Let's get this kind of going. So I think the first thing I'm gonna do is kind of glue this part down, because a lot of glue came out there. I've decided to have the other pieces kind of overlapping this one. So, and some of this ink might continue to move, which is fine by me. If I wanted it to be like more permanent, I would have definitely used a different kind of ink for that. You might want to use a glue stick when doing this kind of stuff. I find that a glue stick sometimes works a little bit better. Well, the good ones, anyways, work a little bit better. Just applying pressure there. There we go. And I have these little things here, these little stars and just these little kind of like confetti things. So I think I'm gonna apply a little bit of that on here as well. I'm gonna sprinkle some of these on, and I'm just gonna let them kind of fall wherever they want to fall. I just want them to get stuck mainly. Stay still. Stay still. Okay. All right. Let's get a little bit more glue. This bottle is almost empty. I'm trying to stick them down and seal them all at the same time. And I'm going to be sprinkling a little bit more. Stay still. It's like a whole bunch of like little dots and stars. And I absolutely love to go shopping in my own stuff because sometimes like when I'll get like Happy Meal and you know how you end up sorting stuff out and you put like certain things here, certain things there. I always end up finding the most interesting things. And I found this one sheet of like this paper that had like all these little cutouts. I have no idea like what it even is. So I'm just like, hey, this will work in more ways than one. And anytime you can find something that you can do double duty with, it's always a good day. Let's see. So hopefully those will dry and settle. I only have a few more pieces left, so I'm just trying to add them in here. And I don't care if like they get clustered up. Like I'm not worried about that at all. I'm gonna allow this to kind of sit for a little bit before I actually go over it again. I just wanted that to have a little bit of interest. So let's go now into our bottom layer. And let's start adding up some of these little edges that I created here. So I'm gonna do this. And this paper right here that I'm using is from a Prima pad. The other one I think is from a DCWV paper pad, one of those small 8x8s. If I'm not mistaken, I could be. I've been known to mess up. Hi, Deb. I didn't see you there, darling. Yes, Alice will definitely make an appearance. I was in Donna's live the other day when she created her beautiful Alice in Wonderland canvas, and I'm like, I need to. This is like part of destiny right here. I have to get this going. I need to definitely get my little book out and create some cutouts and work on an art journal page or something. It's just something I had to do. It kind of looks like hills in the background. Wait. And you guys know I don't do anything the easy way. I don't do anything the easy way. With me, everything is always the hard way. Because I always end up figuring out something else to do. Hey, Donna. I was just telling them about your live stream, that beautiful canvas that you created. You guys be having the weirdest conversations. You gotta love it. You guys be having the weirdest conversations like ever. I look up and I'm like, man, damn, cigar, what the hell? All right, so I'm gonna just cover up some of my little open areas here by using some of the little pieces that I have left over here that I can kind of go ahead and just do some patchwork. And I think that's pretty good overall. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. We don't need to do that there. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Let me see how she fits on here. She's like humongous, but that's fine. She's like humongous. So let me just add a few more of these little peaks that I kind of lost here and there. With me, things tend to be like patchwork. Just kind of curving out the little bits and pieces. Spreading out this glue as much as I can. All right, so let's see. We have that going, that going. All right, so the next things to kind of follow up, I'm gonna continue to add just a little bit more color, add a little bit more interest to this, because this right now looks a little bit, you know, wonky. I also have some flowers that I'm gonna be working on soon that I think I'm gonna be adding in here. I think I want to add this in here. But I think what I'm going to do is use double-sided tape to add that. I don't think I'm just going to go straight across it like that. I think I'm going to add some double-sided tape to this area here. And put this Life is an Adventure ribbon right there. I like the black and the white also kind of break a little bit of that contrast too, so that's super cool. And my phone. I need a stand for that phone. Thank you, Leilani. Jackie, don't tell me you don't know who that is. Please. Don't ever say that stuff out loud. He's like in every movie that has come out in the past 3 years. Yes. That's exactly who that is. All right, so I got that going. I'm going to get my stencils out now. So we're going to play with a little bit of stenciling. Yes, we are. And we're going to add a little bit of stenciling here and there and a little bit everywhere else. So I think for this, I'm actually, what am I going to actually do? I want to actually say a lot, but I'm not actually sure. Let's see. Where's my homemade gesso? I think I'm going to do it with this, if I may. Let's see. Can I actually find a clean palette in here? Maybe not. So I'm going to use the back side of it. When I can't use the front, I'm going to use the back. Okay, you guys, don't judge me. Don't judge me. I'll put that mess over there. I'm going to put this on the back. I think I'm going to go into with a little bit of stenciling with some gesso on it, as opposed to doing it like in color, so that I can go ahead and add color to it afterward. I think that might look a little bit better. Well, we'll see how it's gonna look because I'm not 100% sure of nothing right about now. But that's what we're gonna do. And I can't seem to find a brush to do that with, so I'm just gonna pour a little bit of my homemade gesso right there, just a little bit. And I'm gonna get my little thing that I've been using. This is probably gonna have some blue on it. That's fine. That's fine. Actually, let me see how much of this I can get off. But I'm okay with whatever little residual is gonna show. Now that's just for the Harlequin. For the other one, I might go into with some color. I just want to add a little bit of this and some white, which is the right way for this stencil. I can't tell. I think it's this way. So I'm just gonna dab that out. And I'm gonna start from the top and just add that in there. And this homemade gesso was done with plaster of Paris, so it's a little different than the other one that we normally make. It's a little bit more grainy, has a little bit more texture. So we're going to see. Let me put my images over here. I don't want them to get messed up. So we're going to see how this is all going to kind of come together. I'm not really quite sure, to be honest with you, how it's going to all look once it's all done. And then I'll go back into adding more of the pinks and more of the other colors with that. Good night. Thanks for stopping by. I wanted this, well, my very first Alice on here to look just a little bit more kind of whimsical, to look just a little bit more different than the traditional, you know, using like the traditional colors and stuff like that. I wanted it to just be like a little different. All right, so we got some of that in there. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna add some of these little trees in here. And I'm thinking about what colors do I want to add them to. I want to put them in black. I think black will probably show the most. So I'm going to put them in black, but we'll see. I might change my mind halfway through. I'm going to use this patent leather. It's really, really shiny. So I'm hoping that between the gloss, that'll really make a difference with this one. And I've cleaned off most of that gesso on there. So I want to just kind of go like this. When I clean the back of my palette, I'm going to use the front side because it's black, so I don't care so much if it gets messed up. The chosen one. Ah, thank you, thank you. That's always the goal, right? That's always the goal. So I got some of my patent leather out, and we're gonna go ahead and just to this. I'm going to hold this down right from the top and just pounce it out. When it comes to using paints with stencil, pouncing it is the best way to apply your stencils. I don't want to get past my little ribbon here. Try not to get past. I could have put my ribbon after. That probably would have been the smartest thing to do, but you guys know I work backwards. Ooh, I like it. I like it. I like it. I'm going to add another one right here, right on top of my page. We're going to add another one on the other side. And I'm going to go with the small one first and then work my way out. Thank you. I got the brush on. Chubby bunny, but with the brush in the mouth this time. So let's see. So let's put this one. Hopefully I don't dirty my thing too much. I got my finger in it. Ugh. That's okay. I'm not gonna go too crazy with that right now. Just on there. Hold that there. If you guys hear noise, it's the AC coming on because it's getting hot. So just to share with you guys, right now this is what we got kind of happening here. We have the little tree. We have like the little entryway where the stars are. Let's see. I think I'm gonna add a few of these. I'm gonna waste this paint because, you know, waste not, want not. So I'm gonna use this paint just by adding a few of these little trees down here. Might as well. I just love how a page comes together. Sometimes you wonder, like, oh my God, this is looking hella crazy. And you want to start all over and you just want to rip it up and just do all kinds of crazy stuff to it. You want to burn it and all kinds of stuff. But stick with it because you never know. Just adding a little bit of black shrubbery. So I think I'm going to add a little bit of the black of the, in this too. I have paint here. That's the reason why I'm like trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to see if I can overlap some of this. I don't want to waste this paint, you guys. I don't want to waste this paint. So I'm just going to add a little bit here and a little bit there. And just randomly select places. Very organic, just wherever it falls, it falls. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with that, I think. I think maybe, yeah, I think I'm pretty satisfied with that. So let me just clean out my brush a little bit. Thank you. So I'm gonna give that like a minute or two to kind of just start drying up a little bit. It is patent leather paint, you guys, so it will dry a little bit. It will take a little bit longer to dry than regular acrylics, but it does have a natural shine to it. It looks very much like what patent leather looks like. Once, you know, like in shoes and in purses and all of that pleather stuff. But this is what we have. Added a few little things there. It almost looks like bricks, right? So I might accentuate that. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about it right now. I'm thinking about it right now, honestly speaking. So I'm gonna go grab myself some water soluble something or the other. And oh, you know what? I'm gonna put this to the side and I'm gonna start painting my Alice. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start coloring my Alice in. Because once I put her in, then everything else is just a little bit extra here and there. And then I can go ahead and add color. But I don't want to mix and match like all this wet stuff with this paint right now. So I'm going to put this to the side and let this kind of just dry for a little bit. I'm going to clean my hands a little bit. And we're going to start coloring Alice in. Put my gesso cover back on. You guys, the funniest thing happened to me. I'm going to show you. You're going to laugh. But I was making my own stuff, right? And silly me, I put one too many tablespoons of the what is it, plaster of Paris, and my paste is a rock. Isn't that crazy? I used it that one day to test it. I'm like, oh, perfect consistency. I closed it and I put it to the side. And when I went to go use it the next morning, it was solid. I was like, no. I was so mad. I was like, oh no. All that work. Who, me? Use the rest of what? I have a color wheel, if that's what you're asking about. I have a color wheel. I just never use it, to be honest with you. I experiment with colors all the way. If it turns into mud, then I'll just create landscape. I'm all right with it. I'll just stick a mountain right in the middle. I'll be like, yeah, that's what I wanted to do the whole time. Yep, that's what I wanted to do. All right, so let me go ahead. You gotta live a little. You gotta live a little. And how much more can an artist live on the edge than not paying any attention to the color wheel, right? So for me, that's adventure. All right, so we're gonna play with this right now. So let me go ahead and grab myself. Now this is just regular cardstock. This is just no, it's not cardstock. This, I didn't even back it, to be honest with you guys. I didn't even back her up. This is from the book, straight out of the book. I didn't do nothing to it. This right here is regular cardstock. So we're gonna play with that. We're gonna play with that. And we're gonna see what we come up with. So I'm gonna just get some watercolors out, and we'll see how it all turns out. Oh, I found my blending tool. That's where you were the whole time. I'm never gonna find you there. You're not in the ink department. Great. I've been looking for it like crazy. I almost took that phone. And, you know, I feel like he lost his. Like, I don't know where you put it. I didn't cut the book. My book is still whole. But what I did is I took, in the page that I wanted to use, I just snipped the little ribbon, you know, the little thread that holds it together. So I just took that one page out. I didn't want to take the whole book apart because I wasn't sure, like, I was going to be able to keep the rest of the pages safe. Because you know how that goes. So I have here some Janes and I have some crayons. And what I did with these palettes, I actually mixed them up. I pre-sorted them. So I took all of my colors and I put them in one spot, and then I took like all of the bold ones and I put them in another because they were like mixed and matched. So I put all my bold ones here, like this is what this palette now looks like, and then I color swatched it the way I did it. And then I took all of like the skin tones and stuff like that, and I put it in the yellow one because it's what closely, resemble to me. Um, this is what it used to look like. This is what the original palette was, I think. It was one or the other. I'm not sure. But, where's the other one? This is what they used to look like. So it had like this blue in there and like some other intense colors. So I just took those out and just left like the other colors in there, and I put all the vibrant ones in the other one and swatched them out. That's what I did. So, Carmen, what are we doing? All right. So my page is like pinkish and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna make her, instead of the traditional blue, I'm gonna make her pink, I think. I'm gonna make her pink and blue, I think. I'm not sure. All right, so let me go ahead and spritz this baby out. I don't need this one so much right now, although I will for her skin tone. I'm gonna go ahead and work off of these for right now until I feel like I need to intensify the color, and then I'll pull in some of the other watercolors that I have here. So we'll see. So it'll probably be, this is rose pink. It looks more like a purple, like a violet, but. And this one is ice rose. So I'm gonna use these two. This is a gelato, and that's a Faber-Castell water soluble crayon. I'm gonna use that. And I don't believe that this paper is watercolor paper, so I don't want to saturate it too much. I'm just looking for brushes that will suit my needs right now. So I think that one will work well. So I'm going to bring the barrel down, and I'm going to spray right into that barrel, just so that I can get it nice and wet. So I can turn it into kind of like a watercolor. And we're going to start. So let's see here. What do I want to do? I want to make her apron white, I think. I'm not sure. But I'm just going to go into it. I'm going to make her dress. This really light, rosy. It's very shimmery. And I'm going to keep all of the details that are original to the drawing in there. I'm not going to try to change anything up. And I will intensify colors here and there. Me and this phone today. Will you stay there? No, this one has beautiful eyes, actually, Donna. See? She has beautiful eyes. Let me zoom it in. I think I'll zoom it in a little bit so that you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm trying to keep her nice and light because I have so much bold colors happening in the background. I don't want to make her like compete with the rest of the colors that I have happening. So I think right here. Trying to figure out what part of it is her dress, what part of it is that little apron thing that she's got going on. It's kind of hard to tell. kind of hard to tell. The drawings back then were so cool and so sketchy, but now coming to want to color this thing, it's just too sketchy. So I'm gonna go into this color here, and we're gonna see if this is gonna work for me. And I'm just kind of pulling the color down. I added that more intense pinkish color. So I'm kind of letting the rose, the ice, this, what is this called? Ice rose, kind of mix in a little bit with that one. Thank you. Right? It looks super different. Super, super different. So now I'm just trying to kind of like just intensify here and there a little bit. Using some of the color from in there to kind of come in here. Trying to bring that pink in there, even though you can't really see that pink that much. My little piggy is gonna be, I gotta make him like a mixed color between pink and skin tone, so so he doesn't blend in with her arms. So that should be interesting to see. Nonetheless, let's see. What else do I have in here? I think I'm gonna try to subtly, like in a very subtle kind of way, I'm gonna try to add some red. Let's see if that'll kind of work with me. I'm not sure. Just a little bit. I just want to get a little teeny bit. Little teeny bit. Just to kind of put between these creases here. My. Mr. Who? What the hell?
You're too young.
I see.
Who's a baby?
Mr. Tato.
You sleep. You're a fool.
Okay. I like that. And this part of it right here. What we're gonna do. Okay. All right. So, what color can I give like to accent this color right here? I'm gonna just wipe this brush down a little bit. We definitely got to get some like yellowish colors going on in her hair. So I'm thinking I'm gonna mix her between a blonde and a brunette. There's some of this brown in here. So I'm gonna get a little bit of this yellow. It's kind of like a marigold kind of color. When I try to figure out what color I'm gonna add to her apron. Like I said, I don't want her to be like the traditional kind of Alice. So I want her to look a little different. So I'm gonna darken her hair up just a little bit. This is way too dark. Just way too dark. A Hispanic Alice, that's right. Ella se llama Alicia, okay? Her name is Alicia, and don't you forget it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. And her eyes, I don't know about that blue, so we're gonna work on this, probably this brown. Give it some dark eyes. I'll fix that in a minute. Once I add like the little dabs of light and so on and so forth, we'll be able to fix that. So I think I'm gonna go with a baby blue, I guess, like pink and baby blue, um, which I guess is a little traditional, but not really traditional because her outfit is actually all blue, I think. Okay, Carmen, you gotta clean your brush, girl, because blue and yellow make green, and you didn't say nothing about no damn green. All right, so let's not get too happy here. Let me spritz my blue. So I'm just more or less repeating the same thing I did with the other gelato, just wetting that up, creating that color. And I'm gonna see if I like this. And I'm adding it kind of splotchy on purpose because it makes it look like there's some kind of movement happening in it. Happy accidents. So we have that. Hello, Marge, and welcome. All right, so I kind of like that. I'm gonna intensify the blue around the edges to make it more darker. What the heck is going on? I hear rumbling in the jungle. And I'm gonna make a little bit more intense blue on the edges, as opposed to leaving them white. Make that blue even more intense. But you guys are going all the way old school. For me, it was Chapulín Colorado. Sígame lo bueno. No contaban con mi astucia. All right, so let's see. All right, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make her socks like this peachy, not peachy, this ice cold color. But I want to add what am I looking for? Pencil. So I'm looking for pencil. How much stuff I have in my pencil box. Everything including pencils. I'm gonna add a little bit of blue with pencil just to intensify that blue a little bit more. Right? Yeah, right. I like that. I like that a lot. So this is what we have so far. She's looking really dimensional. I'm liking how she's looking. Hi, Zavita. Thanks, Donna. So let's see. So like I said, I wanted to mix. I gotta work on her flesh tone. I also gotta do these socks real quick. Do I have something that looks peachy? Not peachy, but will match that color. I thought I had like a metallic rose pink here somewhere. Have green, have blue. Ooh, this ice blue will look nice, I think. Let me see. It's a little darker. Oh, I like that. It's a little darker. Really, really nice. Yeah, I like that. It's a little bit more blue, a little bit more intense. All right. I'm trying to find a color for her socks. I do have if I can find it. Here it is. I found it. This is it, right? Yeah. This is like a rose ice rose, kind of like how that Faber Castell gelato is. I think I'm gonna use this for her socks. I'm just creating shadow in the ruffled areas of her dress. I'm trying to hurry this up for you guys because I know uh, my stuff always takes a long time. All right. Against that dress too. Okay. She's changing. Who's changing? Thank you, Karina. Who's changing? So now I'm gonna just try to go lightly with this pencil. Just really, really lightly. And then with the ice one, with the ice rose gelato, I'm gonna just spritz a little bit, just to get a little teeny drop of water in there. And I'm just blend it all in. Because if you guys, this mom were anything like my mom, if she put on a blue dress, you had on blue pantyhose. If she put on a red dress, you had on red pantyhose. I guess it was the easiest way to match back then. All right, so let's just move along on there. So I got these. Now I'm gonna color her skin tone in. Oh, the world, yes. Boy, is it ever. It is always in rotation, constantly changing. All right, so for this, I'm gonna use my Faber-Castell skin tone, which is salmon pink. So I'm gonna use this salmon pink to paint in her face. Just gonna get myself a little bit of water here. When I start my lives, my desk is like so clean. I got like my little bundle of stuff here, my little bundle of stuff there. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna work on. This is what I'm gonna do. By the time that I am done, you guys, my desk is a hot mess. It is crazy. All right, so pretty much just watering, applying it wet brush to crayon, just to pick up that color. If the color goes on too dark, I just lightly wet my brush. And just keep using it until there's no more water on it, so that I'm not over drenching the image. Because boy, is this like a point that you don't want to mess up right now. You've done everything else right. Bye, April. Thanks for being here. Oh, thank you. I don't want to overwork the paper too much because it is paper after all. It's not designed for watercolor. So I'm just going to lightly just add my little layer. If I need to darken anything up, I'll go into it after it's dried a little bit. Then I'll do that then. So we're going to leave her like this for right now. I still got to work a little bit on her face. Um, Still got to color in her lips. So now we're going to work on Mr. Piggy. On Mr. Piggy, I'm just going to apply the crayon a little bit. I'll just apply this. And I'm going to wet my brush and apply it also from the crayon, just to get that color to move. I'm going to be applying some pink on this piggy as well, just to make it break away from what her flesh tone is, so that they don't look like they were conjoined at birth or something like that. Okay. So he's pretty much peachy right now. Let's go ahead and add some pink into him. Where's my Jane Davenport? This might be too bold. So, but we're gonna go for it. This might be too bold, but we're gonna see how it comes out. Just gonna add a little bit. It's gonna be a hot pink, um, a hot pink piggy in about a second. I'm gonna water that down. We're gonna see how this is gonna work out for me. Right now, I'm not really liking it too much, how the piggy's coming out, but I'm just gonna add a little bit. Adding a little bit, letting that color kind of blend out. I'm like trying to pick up the slightest amount of color so that I don't overwhelm him too much. And I think that's it for that. Let me go back to my rose color here. Where are you? Right here. Let's make him glisten a little bit. It's like a hot little roasted piglet. Alrighty, you guys. My little piglet has been colored. And her shoes only, I'm not gonna worry about her shoes. I'm gonna color his little bonnet blue because why not, right? It's her little piggy right now, so she's gonna be matchy matchy with the little piggy. So I'm gonna paint the bonnet blue. Do I have baby blue in here? Yes, I do. Let's just do this. I'm just dabbing color in because I'm gonna dab another color in there as well. I'm gonna dab a little bit of this pink. I don't want to mix the colors. I just want to get them to kind of mix on their own a little bit so that it creates little purples, um, little blues. Alrighty. So that's her. She was doing what? What the? That's what happens when you're like paying attention to what you're doing, and you're not paying attention to what other people doing. Because I see what he's writing. I just noticed now that he's over here talking about break dancing, and I was dancing, and who was dancing, and everybody's dancing. All right, so I got her kind of in there. I'm gonna go ahead and just add a little bit more color here. And I have to paint her lips, which I haven't done. I think I'm gonna kind of leave her like that. I kind of like how that looks. Gonna get the white and just kind of lighten that area up a little bit. Her eyes, I'm gonna work with a gel pen to fix that, and her lips, I'm gonna just she's supposed to be a little girl, so I'm just gonna add this little rose color right in here. So there we go. So Alice is painted, you guys. I didn't do the flowers yet because I'm gonna see how I'm gonna incorporate those. If I do incorporate them, I'll incorporate them quickly, and I'll just add colors, and you'll see what I do when I do it. I'm gonna keep this here because this is actually helping me with my phone right now. So let me bring my journal back. And I think kind of like how that kind of looks. So let me just bring that up like so. And I'm gonna glue her down with a glue stick just because I don't want to wet her and get her colors mixing because I did use water soluble stuff. Let me bring the camera back up so that you guys get a full shot of what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue her down, and I need something to glue her down on. What do I have? A piece of recycled cardboard. So I'm gonna do this. Put this over here. Yay! All right. So let's see here. I'll just stick my phone in here again. See how I can do this. All right. So let's go ahead and play a little bit with adding some of these, some more of this paint. Then I'm thinking I'm gonna add probably some flowers like so. Something like that. I'm thinking. right? Yeah, I'll leave those without it. I think that's what I'm gonna do as far as my final layer, and then I'll be done. Right? Yes. So let's go ahead, and I'm just gonna incorporate a little bit more of this pink just so that the bottom kind of matches the top a little bit better. And once I'm done with that, then I'll get into coloring these babies in to just incorporate a little bit more of that color in there. And I'm looking for, here it is. I'm just gonna use the sponge straight off and just add more of that pink in there like so. And if I don't find that this is dark enough for me, because this is more designed for like you know, spraying over other stuff, then I think I'm gonna go and just grab myself the ink, the paint is what I'm gonna do that I use for that. Which one? I'm gonna grab a little bit of this royal fuchsia and a little bit of this baby pink to just kind of dull it down a little bit whenever I feel like it's getting a little bit too much. I'm gonna use the same little sponge that I was doing, and I'm just gonna be dabbing here and there, just a little bit of color, just to kind of bring that red kind of down a little bit, and add a little bit of this pink. My sponge is a little bit wet already because I did go ahead and wet it down when I applied some of that liquid version of the acrylic paint, which is just pretty much watered down acrylic paint. I just want to bring that red down just a little bit. It's a little busy. I'm going to be doing this mainly to like the outer edges. And then once I apply the light pink, it's almost like applying a white into it. So that should hopefully mute it a little bit and kind of bring it all together. I have enough blue in here, so I don't need to incorporate more blue into the background, because then it'll all just become one big piece. And I'm okay with going over some of these. As long as I don't cover them too much, I'm okay with that. I mainly don't want to see any white. I guess I gotta open up the baby pink. Thank you, darling. Thank you guys so much. Pidiendo café allá afuera. So we're at the last leg of this race, you guys. So this is gonna mute it down just a little bit. I want to bring some of this black kind of out. I'd actually might add some blue into it. Just a little bit on the top. Something just came into my mind right now that I think might look really cool. Create like a makeshift kind of sky. So we're gonna see if we can do that. So we're gonna add some clouding in here. Let me get a blue. So the colors that I used, the pink was royal fuchsia and baby pink. This one that I'm gonna try to use now is Bahama blue. And I'm going to keep using the same sponge because I'm okay with it just mixing a little bit. So I'm just going to use a little bit at a time, and I'm going to just dab it in there and just create like little illusions of clouds. That's the goal. Hopefully we will achieve it. I can't guarantee nothing because in my world, there are no guarantees. Just going to dab it in there. Grab a little bit of this baby pink and do the same thing over that blue. Thank you, thank you. Just kind of dabbing it on with the sponge, little dots of paint at a time, like little dots of paint at a time. Um, so you can have a little bit more control. Sometimes you put too much and you just can't do nothing about it. I think I like that. I think I like that a lot, actually. I add a little few drops of blue right here, and I think I'm done with this sky scene right here that I'm creating. Like a cotton candy sky. And pretty much the tip of your fingers what kind of becomes the little rounded edges. I like that. I like that a lot. Cotton candy skies, right? I'll frame this out in black, so I'm good to go there. Um, so the only thing I have left to do is pretty much get my flower situation going, frame this whole thing out in black, and then this page will be done. Um, I'm not gonna get a sentiment for this because the ribbon says it all. Life is an adventure. It doesn't get better than that. So we'll see. You know what I think I will do? Just because I can. I'm gonna try with a little bit of gesso and just dab a few clouds in there. I want to test it out and just see. I can always kind of go over it if I don't like it. So cross your fingers, you guys, because every time I do too much, it's too much. So. Sometimes I just need to leave well enough alone. Just wanted to add a little bit of white here and there. That's not how it is with me. Once I get myself going, sometimes it's like, no. All right, so I kind of like that, like that. I think that's more than enough. Add a little bit of white clouds in there. And now I'm going to work on the little flowers. I'm going to stick them on. The flowers, I'm going to keep them nice and simple. I'm going to add a little bit of color and water. I'm going to stick them on, lift them off. However they come out, they come out. If I need to edge them up, I'll edge them up. But other than that, we're about done. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to grab myself a piece of plastic. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to grab myself a piece of plastic. I'm going to add a little bit of color here and there. And pretty much go to town on these flowers. So I'm going to keep it with the same kind of color scheme. So I'm just going to color in. And this is the rose pink, but in the Faber-Castell, which is a little bit darker. I'm going to allow that to kind of break down a little bit. Let's see how the test one kind of came out. You could also use them in this, do them with like the stress if you want. Which I might actually. Using the same crayon, I'm just kind of just adding a little bit of detail here and there, nothing too major. Let's see. Wetting this down a little bit again. like how that looks. And the last one, oh, I got one more. So I'm just kind of scribbling in, just adding color here and there to some of the lines, and then just re-moistening it a little bit so that it can catch, just become a little bit darker in some areas. Just so that it can kind of stand out and become a little bit different. Like a little bit, just a little bit more dimensional. You don't want to get this too damp because again, this is not watercolor paper. This is just regular old cardstock. So you do want to be a little bit careful. I will go into the little centers with a white gel pen just to make the little centers kind of stand out. But other than that, we are finito with this, I think. I think this is as many flowers as I'm going to add. I believe that that's what I'm going to do. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I need one more. Jeez. I need one more because the 2 flowers in the bottom. So you pretty much cover it all with one layer of the color so that it's all kind of somewhat even. Then you just kind of go into it and add a little bit more pigment here and there. And then just wet it up again. This time, you're going to have more concentrated areas, depending on where you added that pigment. And that's it. They're going to all look a little different than the one before. And I think that's it for that. Let's put this away. And let's bring that baby back. Oh, no. That's so crazy. All right, so we're going to put these like this. And this is more or less how this is going to kind of look. Once these are a little bit more dry, I probably would go into them with the colored pencils just to make them even bolder. But right this moment, there is not necessary to do that. So I'm just gonna grab some glue. And I don't need to glue down the whole entire flower. I just need to make sure that it is glued down though. And you can position them any way that you want. This is just regular overseas stamps, flower stamps. So any kind of flower stamps that you have will do, in any kind of imagery that's like this will do as well. So if you don't have Alice in Wonderland, you can still do this with a regular, you know, one of those regular princesses from one of those coloring books. You can still do something like this with one of those. Thanks, Dorinda. Have an awesome rest of the weekend too. And we are about finito with this. And I just kind of put it to tilt in a different direction. but it's a tip kind of opposite, a little bit opposite of where those are going. And that's about it. All I have left to do at this stage is just get my white gel pen, add a few dots of white, add a few dots in her eyes, and we're good to go. I might add some yellow in there. I don't know if yellow is the color that they're supposed to have, but I'm gonna see if I have some yellow marker that I can add in there. Thank you, Isabel. It was a coloring page from a coloring book that Donna purchased at Dollar Tree and gifted me. I would love to find a stamp like this. What? So adding usually like a few dots of white in the eyes kind of gives them life. It makes it look like they're, you know, kind of watching you, if you will. Like it makes them look like they're actually live beings. Let me see if I can find a yellow. I can't find a yellow. This is terracotta. This might be too dark, but we're gonna try it. I'm gonna add just a little bit of color in here, so it's not all pink. These are Faber-Castell. But really, any marker that you have that's not really reactive to water will work. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. And I'll definitely go into this with a little bit more detail and add more color into these flowers. But I need them to be just a little bit more dry than they are now, so I probably won't be able to do that here. Just adding a little bit more specks of white into the centers of these. But I really do like how this kind of came out. The only thing that I have left to do is just frame it, you guys. Frame it, and I think I am done with this. And I absolutely love, love, love the way that this came out. I haven't art journaled in quite some time. Thank you, Donna. I absolutely love, love, love the way that it came out. So let me grab some black paint, I guess. Do I have any black paint here? I'm thinking. I definitely want to frame this. So let me see if I find, if I even know where I put it at. I was using it the other day to frame some stuff out. Sometimes. Where did I put it? Okay, I don't seem to have it here. So I'm just gonna go into a freehand. I'm just gonna go into a freehand. I'm gonna grab me this. I'm gonna put all of this stuff to the side because I no longer need this. Put this here. Thank you, Isabel. I'm so glad you guys like it. Yes, definitely different. Definitely different. Um, thank you. Oh, you're so sweet. You want ice cream tonight? Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna get some of this same patent leather, so you can have like a different kind of finish. Um, I think I'm just gonna go into this since this is the widest part. I need to kind of cover. I'm gonna kind of put my book like this. This to the side. I'm gonna saturate this brush quite a lot. Some shimmer or bling. Maybe I can add some inside of there. Just let me do this edge up real quick and then I'll get the bling on there. Thank you, Giselle. Thank you, Jackie. Yes, and that's what I was thinking. I don't think I'm gonna border it all the way to the bottom. I think I'm just gonna border it at half of the top, and I'm gonna leave the bottom as is. I think I'm gonna leave the bottom kind of just the way that it is. Hopefully you guys are able to see. The other side didn't come out quite like this one because I put the flower too close to the edge. I didn't want to paint the flowers black after I did all that work trying to color them in. But this is about done. I'll spritz a little bit of glitter here and there to make her sparkle, and then we can call it a day. And this will be mission accomplished. If I had good handwriting, I would probably write "Life is an adventure" all around the border, but my handwriting sucks. What can we do? We can't have it all in life. All right, so I kind of like how this is looking, and I'm gonna call this pretty much done. And I love it. I don't know about you guys, but I love it. I really do. And I gotta stop putting my fingers in it before I mess it up. I just touched it and I messed it up. I gotta put the rest of that paint inside of that jar before I do something foolish. I'm just smoothing out some of that paint that I saw that was like really bulky in some areas. All right, you guys. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna grab some glue or some glitter paint or something, um, and do that real quick to the inside of this, and I'm done, you guys. I'm done. And I think maybe some gold fine glitter is in order. What do you think? So how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? Okay. I cover it all. Now we can't shift it up. We gotta shift it down. So let's see how this is gonna work out. What time is it? Took me from 7 to 2.5. Yeah, almost 3 hours. All right. Let's see. A lot of this is gonna get stuck.
Who's the winner?
The winner of what?
You gonna give it?
No, this is my journal.
No.
This is actually not going. Glitter bomb, you guys. Glitter bomb. It's the little touch of glitter. Not too much, not too little. I'll have a lot of glitter to clean up afterwards, but I actually might do something with all this glitter that I have left, because I think I might as well. I think I'm gonna add it in the center of, I think I'm gonna end up adding it in the center of all of these little flowers, just to make the flowers also have a little bit of gold. Um, so just a little bit in the center of each flower. This would have been nice to do on a canvas, all right? I'm looking at it, I'm like, why didn't you do this on a canvas? Why did you do this on a journal page? Oh, Jesus, that's a lot of glitter on one little flower. So I think that'll work. Let me try to put this glitter back. You guys, oh, my whole arm is like, yes, right? I still could do it. I mean, I would just have to trim off the edges and just glue it onto the canvas of some sort. Even if it's like a makeshift canvas, you can still definitely get it done, because I think the size of it is a little awkward. Mira, mira, mira. I got glitter everywhere. I'm a fairy. I'm a fairy right now. I'm gonna get this glitter off of this. Let me see if I could brush some of it off. This is a lot. I'm just like gently dusting it so that I can get some of that excess glitter off. But okay. This is the final, you guys. I can't read what you guys are saying. Thank you, thank you. You'll find the fray for it. Oh my goodness. So yes, you guys, that is it. I think I have accomplished today's mission for the most part. Today's mission was to create an art journal page using a coloring book page. And my goal was to make it different. Uh, Still very fairy tale like, but I wanted to create somewhat of like a new world for her. Um, and there's still a lot more images left in that book. I mean, thank you so much, Donna. Honestly, that book is like it's like full of inspiration. Like there's you can't go wrong. There's just so many images that you can use. There's so many things that you can do with it. I think it came out absolutely lovely. I love the way that I colored her dress. I mean, I'm in awe right now. I just love it. The clouds came out so sick. I didn't think it was gonna come out that nice, but I'm looking at it in the video and I'm like, wow, I love it. Yes. Thank you so much, Donna. So you guys, I think I've held you up long enough. I think. Um, Unfortunately, those of you that were here, both parts of the video know that I had to restart the live stream. So it's like a two-part. If you want to see how I started the first part, then I will link the first part of the video down below. Um, just in case you might want to see it. Unfortunately, it's gonna have to be, it's like a 30-minute or 20-minute, you know, where I started kind of gluing down stuff to it and adding napkins to the background and that kind of stuff. And I started adding color and stuff like that to the background in the first half. And then the second half of the video is where I went, and completed the rest of the page. So thank you all so much as always. It's been my pleasure to be here creating with you guys. Have an awesome rest of the weekend. And I will catch you guys later on. Oh yes, and P.S. I have the giveaways. I'm gonna do all the giveaways in one shot. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do all the giveaways for the canvases that I have left and the clipboard that I created. I'm gonna do all of that in one shot just to get it over and done with and get them things all shipped out. So if you've been a part of my live streams for the summer canvas series throughout this whole entire summer, be sure to be there because some people that didn't win are going to have opportunities to win, and it's going to be more inclusive when it comes to the clipboard. That's going to be open to a lot of people that have been there, not just the people that were there for a certain amount of time. I'm trying to see what next series I'm going to come up with. I'm still working on that. But I want to be able to do like the make and take. I want to be able to continue to create something that I can, have somebody win or be able to give it away to somebody. Or I can do art journaling. Um, and if you guys like this, then come back at the end of this video, which I'm about to end now, and give it a few minutes so that it can at least start processing so that it allows you to write a comment down below. But if you want me to have an art journaling Saturday evening session, at least for like, a month or two, let me know. If you're open to other kinds of make and take type things, let me know so that I can try to figure out what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. That would be greatly appreciated. So love you all. Have a blessed night, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.